Welcome to episode 11 on our challenge trying to turn $10 into $1,000 of profit through disc golf. A lot of it's been done through cashing in events, but also flipping discs. There is an incredibly diverse market of disc golf, manufacturers and discs and history that go along with it. And that's kind of what we explore with this series is what to look out for in the used bins. And I try to get these out to you guys for an awesome price on my website. So let's talk about what we found this week. And I'm also going to talk about what did we find and what did we flip from last week's episode. We're going to start off with a pretty unique mold. The first disc we ended up finding was this really old disc wrapped Cyclone. This is a pre-flight number disc. It says extra overstable Cyclone. If you're familiar with disc wrap, they're one of the biggest, hottest manufacturers out there today. But you can tell by the back of the disc where it says Walled Lake, Michigan. The tooling on there isn't inside the rim like disc wrap normally does today. It's something to look out for. But this Cyclone was only $1. Sometimes you find really cool discs like this Cyclone and you hang on to them. It was $1 and it's a piece of disc golf history, which is pretty cool. So I'm gonna give this a throw and look at this crazy wing shape. I actually found another really old disc wrapped disc. This one was a $3 disc. And this one, it was really hard to see, but this is an Elite Z Flick. This is, again, going to be a pre-flight number disc, so a really old disc wrapped run. And honestly, there is actually, the interesting thing about this one, there's no tooling on here. It says 173, it says Flick on there on the back, because this has zero tooling at all. It's a really old disc. It's only $3. And it's one of those like really fingerprinty molds where it could be the plastic breaking down over time, but it's very grippy. It feels like glow plastic. And it started off being Elite Z. See that guy right there? Look at his face. Thinks he knows what he got. This is actually a first run Elite Z Flick. So I was checking for some comps and it says first run, like right here. There's zero chance you're going to be able to see this, but I checked on eBay and there was one that sold for like $125, but it was brand new. This was a $3 find. So that was actually pretty cool. No clue what something like this is worth, but yeah, I missed some things. And actually, unfortunately, I just texting Hatcher about this. I have this Macbeth April Fool's Destroyer where it says Macbeth Disc Golf. And I didn't even realize that it was the April Fool's. And I didn't even realize that instead of Innova, it said Macbeth Disc Golf instead. And I cannot find that disc for the life of me. I haven't sold it. It's not on my racks. Okay, I've got like 3 of these. Yeah, I don't know. I think maybe my daughter picked it up and was playing with it one day, and now I got to go find it. It's going to drive me crazy. All right. I called it. In here, I find discs randomly in this room. That is so funny. Next up is another $1 disc. I got a couple more in here. It was a crazy find here. This is a pre-flight number Photon. It's a patent pending run. So again, pre 2009 era, and these are some of the first discs that MVP was pushing out there. It's white. Somebody did write the flight numbers when they eventually got this disc and the flight numbers came out on the top. It's almost all faded away, so it's not too bad. Flight plate is has like 2 thumb spots, perfect places to put your thumb, but overall it's a super overstable disc. I was really surprised when I went out to the field and threw it how overstable that thing was. I thought it was actually going to flip up a little bit, but nope, held the hyzer, dumped out pretty early. So nice patent pending run of a Photon for only $1. We got another $1 disc from MVP as well. So again, sometimes you time it right and you go in and they're selling the discs for $1. Again, a lot of these are going to be ones that they found inside the creeks that didn't really have names or numbers on them, that somebody turned them in for 50 cents. I know it's crazy. I'll help replay out with 50 cents whenever I can, but this is a Electron Special Edition Terra. Now this one, I had bought this guy right here, and I don't really go disc golfing with my wife ever. We've got 2 kids, so if I'm playing disc golf, she's not with me. It's not really her vibe or thing, and that's totally fine. I did have a cool ace. If you look at like one of my first shorts that I have on my channel, ended up acing this one in Austin while we were down there for a trip, I think for the Austin Marathon a couple years ago. And she drew this on the back, so this one's a really special one for me. So when I found the same exact mold, I really liked this disc in the flight, so we'll give it a throw. It's only $1 again. It's a cool one for me because that was an ace I got in front of my wife, and it was a really fun moment. And I got it recorded too. of me losing my mind off of a tree kick ace. Let's get into some more Discraft discs. This is a Paige Pierce first run ESP nuke. The thing that caught my eye about this one was actually the back. So if you look closely, and I'll read it, this is something where her dad had written this on. They put this on the actual mold itself. Let's give this a read. So it says, everybody plays, not everyone wins. You lose when you forget the difference between the two. But I knew from the beginning that we had a winner. Most 12-year-olds aren't touring the state to compete, but we had to. But it wasn't all victories. There were seconds and thirds, 7 years of near misses in our house. Second place is first loser. That's pretty harsh. Rejection, self-doubt, conformity, hard work, belief, progression, all things that separate the great from the greatest of all time. And in my eyes, that is exactly what she is, Wayne Pierce. So actually a pretty cool message. A little bit of history on this disc. It's a first run nuke Paige Pierce edition with a really cool, unique stamp that I don't think I've seen a lot. Next disc that we ended up finding in the used bins was a really nice 2025 Tour Series for us. This is the best Tour Series. It's just my opinion. The Z Swirl plastic looks really good. This is a nice orange, pink, and red all swirled in here. I'm not sure if it's going to pick it all up, but really, really nice feeling disc. It's just going to get thrown. I'm going to go out there and throw it, and we're going to see how it flies. It's going to be up there on the website, of course, for you to pick up. The replay didn't actually order forces in the beginning, so I didn't get to try this one out. Now I do, so that's pretty cool. Next up, I got this cool Proton servo. Now, there's nothing really cool and unique about this one when you look at the surface, but they don't really run Proton servos all that often. This one has been sitting inside the used bins for a minute. This one, I've seen this one for maybe a month in replay, but part of the reason why I know what to look for is because I've joined a lot of the Facebook groups where they talk about, well, they don't talk, they sell discs, like the MVP buy sell trade, Discraft collectors group and throwers, Discmania, the Innova ones as well. So I keep up to date, Thought Space Athletics, of course, with most of the manufacturers and what is a valuable disc and what isn't. I saw a post where somebody was selling one of these 2023 Circuit Challenge Proton servos for like 30 something bucks. I think it was like $37 maybe on an auction format. And I was like, oh, okay, well, I know there's one in there today. I'm going to go pick it up. So I ended up finding this disc as well. I've got two more discs to cover. These are going to both be Millennium discs. Now that's Innova plastic. So Innova manufactures this. When you find a disc that looks like this, it's Champ plastic. This is what we call a fingerprinty disc. Now this is an older disc. Now what happens over time, plastic starts to break down over time. It's got a little bit of like that chalkiness, but you can wipe it away and make it look brand new. But this one, really good condition. Like it hasn't really been thrown a lot. It might look like it, but this makes these Champion plastic discs fly so much better, feel so much better in the hand, in my opinion, whenever it's like this type of plastic. So this was a pinned Quantum JLS. It says extra durable, long, straight driver. Play smart, keep it simple, throw Millennium. Pre-flight number disc, pinned on the back, $10, pretty much brand new. And something else I noticed is whoever turned this disc in, and a couple others in here actually must have just sold his collection of discs because I ended up picking up a couple of those with his initials on there. Luckily, it's not inked up too bad. The last disc we're going to talk about here is a Quantum Orion LS. Stands for Long Straight Super Driver. Kind of like that, Super Driver. Maybe that's going to be a new category for disc golf. Super Drivers. This is a first run 1.1. Anytime you see first runs, just like we did with the first run nuke, the Paige Pierce one, yeah, pick them up, see what happens. I don't know a ton about Millennium, but again, I know about Innova plastic. And I know whenever I pick up a really good disc in the used bins, I know this is going to be a really, really good disc for somebody's bag. This is a first run 1.1 edition. It's going to be penned. Same initials on this disc as the other one. Somebody in the last video commented that they think the replay buys a bunch of stolen discs. I cannot tell you how many collections I see come through replay when I just stop in. It's almost like every time I'm there, somebody has a car full or literally 2 tubs full of discs. They had like 300 or 400 discs that they turned in while I was there looking through the used bins. And so I'll go through those too and I'll pick some good ones out. Things come up in life. And I've benefited from that for sure. I feel bad. I wish people would know what they had. But the cool thing about Replay is actually Alex, like I know for a fact, like if somebody has like a CE Firebird or something really cool, he's like, don't sell that to me. Okay. Go here, sell it here. They're great people over at Replay for sure. That is going to wrap up the discs that I ended up finding in the used bins that weren't part of the other video I just released. I do have 2 more coming out, so stay tuned for the next used bin finds that I found, and I'll get these all up on the website. But let's talk about the last disc that I found, flipped, and we'll get into the other flips. The last used bin find that we ended up finding actually did not get the video, apparently. I just got a photo, but this is a Star Mirage. It's a Protostar stamp. So again, if you see this stamp on an end of a disc, this is the first run they did in this mold. So this is a Star Mirage. The flight numbers are 3, 4, -3, and 0. Really interesting shape and mold on this. And I found this for $10. Actually had a Play It Again Sports. Decided to randomly go in to one of those. We ended up finding this cool disc for $10, and we sold that for $15 off the website. $5 flip, but not too bad to get something quickly in and out after posting on the website for like a day. Quick shout out to Connor. We ended up selling that $1 Color Go Draco with the Innova Air Force stamp, the team stamp, for $8. I put that one up for not a lot of money because I knew that one would flip pretty quickly, but he also got one of the last A5s I have, the Ultra Soft Color Glow A5s from Prodigy that I ran my custom stamp on. So thank you, Connor, for helping support the channel. You're going to love the Draco and the A5. Ian got 2 pairs of discs. Now, the Cloudbreaker 3s that I found a nice pink one, and I found this gray one with a cool like steel blue stamp on top of those. These 2 were in really good condition when I found them. They're $12 finds each from Replay Sports. Actually, there's another one in there that's been sitting there for like 3 weeks that I'm going to go pick up now that these have actually sold. Because actually the cool thing about this is like anything I make, I just reinvest into cool discs and used bin finds into basically the channel. So he's supporting with the CB3s, so thank you, Ian. And we ended up selling 2 of the PA3s, my cotton candy stamped monsters. So we got a matching pair of the blue on pink. I still have not made my video about these. I'm editing this one currently. I cannot believe how many of you have already bought these, and I haven't even made a video about it. You guys are incredible, and I appreciate all the support. So that's going out to Ian. So thank you, Ian, for the 4-disc purchase off the website. Julian picked up some goodies from New York. These are going to be going out to you. This was an $8 find. One of the Lightning AVRs from the last video. These actually all were. The Dr. Putter with the awesome triple stamp with the bubbles in there. And the incredibly cool cotton candy colored Calvin 22 Halo Destroyer. What an incredible stamp on this. It's a great run. Nice pop top, stiff and firm. And I just love the way the blue inside there came across with these little streaks all the way to the halo. Super, super unique looking Halo Destroyer. That is going out to Julian. Julian actually has been helping support, probably my best customer so far. So I appreciate you helping me out and supporting the channel. Also, you're getting some really, really cool discs as well. That's going to wrap up our challenge updates for episode 11. We ended up spending $63 on the discs that we flipped, sold them for $115, which puts us up to $805 in profit. I have bought a bunch of extra discs. Obviously, I've been reinvesting constantly. And since I want to keep this going past 1,000, I'm not even going to worry about what I've already spent on those. We're just going to continue to look at those as they come through sales. But it's been super fun. Thanks for joining along the journey. And shout out to, Mark, Ian, Julian, and Connor for buying some of those cool discs, and they're going to be getting out to you today. So I'm headed next, drop them off. I'll see you guys in the next video.